Hello and happy Thursday. I am here with my co host, Tori, and we are going to talk about the tragedy that was Monday night's game.
Oh
So,
my
Tori,
God.
how are you on this terrible Thursday?
Gosh, I know we were talking earlier, like this week has just been so long and ongoing, and I can't wait for the weekend. But at the same time, like we get closer and closer to like the holidays, and I am nowhere near prepared. So
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have some gifts purchased. Nothing's wrapped, they're all ideas. So,
they're all in my Amazon cart waiting to be hit for that buy. Like
yeah.
I do have some ideas.
I'm definitely like all of my family is getting my thoughts and prayers for Christmas because
If anyone needs thoughts and prayers, it's me though. Or I
oh
should
my god.
say, or it is the Green Bay Packers because that game was a shit show.
Hmm.
Like, I honestly think that game was one of the worst games I've witnessed in my more recent years. It was terrible. It was a bad car crash I couldn't look away from. And they like still managed to like give me that hope.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And like
Yeah.
that's the worst. Just don't give it to me if that's the case.
Yeah. It was embarrassing because it's like, how do we go from humbling the Super Bowl champions, Kansas City, to
We
then this
literally beat
performance?
3 teams in a row we probably had no business of beating.
Absolutely. That's a 4-8 team. Horrible. We just have this capability to make these horrible quarterbacks look good. I mean,
So
Desmond Ritter,
good.
Dobbs for the Chiefs, or not Chiefs, the Vikings after Cousins went down. Now, what are we doing? What are we doing? I was so frustrated. I broke my pop socket off my phone. Like I was.
I don't think I've yelled at a TV that much, like,
Mhm.
honestly. Like, I was just so furious with, like, all aspects of the game.
Oh yeah.
Like,
The
the play calling, it was like, "Oh, you started better, and then you couldn't fucking get away from the thing because it worked one time." And
uh huh.
then Um, Jordan Love looked like shit. I mean, we all know it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh, Running wasn't really there. I mean, Taylor did okay, but like it wasn't
Mhm.
that great.
Spectacular.
Defense like could not stop them. I was like, how many times are we gonna watch this man who just hopped off his mom's couch run down the fucking middle of the field for 10 yards?
Mhm. Or 17. He was like leading them in rushing. And I think the thing that frustrated me most too was that the Giants have allowed like pressures and sacks all season. We didn't even get close to
Couldn't
touching
reach
it.
him. Couldn't reach him
No.
once.
Like what were they doing? Yeah, you're right. It
Like,
was
no
it was
wonder he
very
looked so
frustrating.
great. He had all the fucking time in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, and our offensive line was just like, maybe.
Garbage,
Yeah.
garbage.
And yeah, it was frustrating. I was not expecting a loss. I think that was but everyone's like it's a trap game and oh no, it's not a trap game. I'm like, no, but
Emily said it from the beginning. She's like, "I don't know, man. I'm nervous."
we play to the level of what these teams that we're playing against. And it's so obvious. Last year was the same thing, the year before. It's like if we play a good team, we play really, really good. If we
Mhm.
play a bad team, sorry, I might sneeze. We play really, really bad, and it just makes no sense. I mean, how do we lose 5 games in a row last year? And Giants was one of them, the Jets was one of them. The Commanders. I mean, we just went back to back to back on all these horrible games that we should the Broncos this year, we should have beat them. The
Yeah.
Raiders, what are they doing? Like, it was just embarrassing to say the least. I walked into work on Tuesday,
Oh, I have
like,
Tuesdays off, thank God.
oh, my head was
I didn't
so
wanna hear
low.
it.
Because I was making the joke. I'm like, how am I supposed to work? Like, all I want to do is just talk about the Packers. And so that's all I wanted to do. And then Tuesday, everyone's like, so you still want to talk? And I was like,
Oh, I wanna talk and let me get
mm.
something off my chest. Like, I will be the first one to tell you when my team's doing shitty. Like, I have
Oh,
no problem
absolutely.
with that. I'm a very, like, realistic fan, I feel like.
Hmm.
But the realistic part is we should have won that game, and we looked like absolute dog shitting. Like, mm.
At what point did you know that, yeah, no, Like, the hope was taken away from you? At what point?
When we saw Al Capone be his manager, probably.
From the very beginning with that hat and the
No.
pinstripe suit,
Oh my god. I was
that
like, "Geez, just, like, play into the stereotype of your, like, state and town." Like, I freaking can't.
uh-uh.
No, at the point I'm trying to think, like, at what exact point? I don't know. I think it was, like, in, like, towards the end of the 3rd quarter. I can't, like, think of the exact play. I mean, like,
Mhm.
obviously, when Carlson misses that field goal, it's like, "Fuck." Um,
Yeah.
I'm not just blaming him. I know you hate him because I saw your tweets. Um,
I
I
am
know
calling
you
for that man's job so often.
Oh my god, let's
I'm gonna
actually
get a cease and desist letter from his family or from his,
how
like,
about
attorney.
how about we hop into these studs and duds, and go ahead, tell me about your dud of the game.
Obviously, Carlson, I mean, look, I am so frustrated because of the fact that we have lost so many games where we would have had the opportunity to win, or they have been within 2 to 4 points, and if he would have either made the extra point or kicked the field goal and made it, we would have won, and, like, I will harp on that until the day that that man is off of my team. It is exceptionally frustrating. I am like,
Okay, but also, let me tell you this, because not only, of course, obviously the field goal, it's very obvious that
mhm,
like, was the problem. Um, but we had 2 touchdowns that 2 should have been touchdowns that were tipped, not thrown right. Like,
mhm.
that to me, his kicking was not what lost us the game.
Oh, yeah, no, but I still am on team get rid of him.
Okay, but, like, I mean, so the thing is he just needs I feel like he has the boot to get the distance. He just does not have the accuracy with that, and that's what he needs to work on because, I mean, like, field goals right now, he's sitting at about 80%.
That high?
Um, yeah. Yeah, it is, actually. He's 20 for 25. I remember because, like, me and my dad were talking shit on him during the game, and, like, we looked it up. And I was like, "Is it really, like, that high?" But this is what the problem is, and I told my dad, it is because it's any distanced, like, field
Mhm.
goal. So I actually pulled this up because I knew we were gonna talk about him. So, as of right now, from 20 or for anything, I guess, from, like, 1 yard to less than 40 yards, he's 6 for 6.
Okay,
It's anything over 40
40
yards
yards,
is when he
wow.
gets a little shaky. He is 1 for 2 on 50 plus. Well, that's just home right now.
Okay.
Um, I mean, away is, like, pretty similar. So, regular
Mhm.
season, so yes, he's 100% less than 40 yards, but the rest of the season, he is 4 for 7 from 40 to 49 yards and 50 plus. He is 2 for 4. So, like, that's the problem is, like, I feel like he has the boot to get it there because 'cause we've seen it
Mhm.
hit the back. It is
Yeah.
the accuracy issue.
I think it also because my dad was a kicker in high school, like a very, very good kicker, and
Mhm.
he does not according to my dad, he doesn't line up right. Like, he's off, like, he my dad literally will call it from and he's not jinxing it, he's not doing this, he'll call it for every single game, so when we start watching football at 12 p.m. on Sunday, all the way to Monday night, Thursday, it does not matter what team is playing, it does not matter who's kicking, my dad will literally say that he's gonna miss because he's too far to the right or he's too far to the left or whatever the situation is, and my dad is probably, like, 99. My dad is what, 6 for 6 at the 40-yard line, right? That like he will literally be
Yeah.
like, he's too far to the right. And he'll call it on the extra points too. Again, does not matter what team it is. He's like, nope, he's gonna miss this. Like it's
Yeah.
just the way that they're lining up is just not right. And again, it's on special teams. I mean, our special teams coach is what paid the highest out of all special team coaches. And what are we doing? Like,
And he should be correcting that if he's that good.
yeah,
Yes. He should be able to correct that. I don't know. I do like what Iowa Joe's kind of saying here is like
yeah.
we really did not expect, especially from the preseason.
Oh, absolutely. I've been
we
dogging
were
on him since day
we
one.
were not expecting a ton from him. And for him to be 80%, like I said, I just wish he could hit it from a little further. His extra points, he's 24 for 27. I
Okay.
mean, obviously, like, those should be gimme points. You're gonna
Mhm.
miss some here and there. I don't hate it, but I feel like he's just missing in the wrong times.
Yeah, no,
And
I
so it's
agree.
it's standing out.
If I were to forgive that man for all his crimes against humanity, my other dud would be, because I'm not choosing a stud because I hate everybody, is going to be Nixon. Like, the fact that he let the ball drop, recovered it, and then it was like, "Hmm, let's see what I can do."
I
And
feel like
then
he's just like
proceeded to fumble it again. And also the hit on the quarterback who was giving himself up. I was under the
mhm.
impression I ain't seen nothing. I am not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything. But to do that and then to do what he did, that was unacceptable. I mean,
Yeah. No, I it was yeah, the muffed punt, and then the get up and try to go, like, it just accept.
following the ball.
I feel like that was his, ego was hurt a little
Yeah.
bit because,
Oh
like,
yeah.
he knows how he was doing so well because he will return
Oh,
just about
absolutely.
anything because
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I think it's some of that ego in him,
Hmm. Oh,
but
absolutely.
you need to just take that. You just need to take that and be like, I fucked up. I got lucky to
Hmm.
get it back."
Uh-huh. And let's see what our offense can do. I
Mhm.
love the videos to where they're like the slip and slide videos to where something will get either muffed or fumbled, and they're all constantly trying to pick it up, and they're picking it up and they're
Oh my
picking it up and
god,
it's slipping, and
right.
then this person's kicking it, and then this person's kicking it. And then next thing you know, it's third and 80 because of how far back it
Oh
got.
my god,
And at
yeah,
that
it's
point,
just
like
like
I
the
would punt
soap in
on
a
third
fucking
down.
prison, man, like, it's just
Yeah.
all over the
It's
place.
all over the place. Was it, oh gosh, I don't remember what game it was, but it was one of the games that we were watching, and it was one of the offensive linemen that picked up the ball, and or defensive lineman, whoever it was, and he started running and he got gassed. Like you could see the like regret on his face immediately afterwards because he is a 300-pound man trying to run it down the field, and he got decently far. He was gassed. That man
I
had no business.
First of all, have you tried to run the length of a football field? It's
No.
miserable. I remember, so, like, our coach in college gave us, like, an off-season program. He's like, "This is," and this was, like, before I started, like, this is before my freshman year. He's like, "This is
Mhm.
what you need to get ready for, basically, for conditioning." And I had to go to, like, the football field, and I would literally have to do, like, killers or suicides for every yard
All the
line
way
back
down.
and forth, all the way down to the 60 at least. Miserable, fucking hated
Mhm.
every second of it. And then we have to go and do, like, bear crawls the length of the football field, and then we have to go and do, like, all these different, like, dynamic movements down the whole length of the football field, and I'm like, "We play fucking softball." Like, get me off of this. I hate this. And it was also, like, during, like, August
Uh-huh.
and September and when the sun's really fucking hot on a turf field kinda weather.
Mhm.
And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, can the
Did
football coach please come in and kick us off, please?"
did you ever do, oh gosh, the crab? I don't know, whatever it is, I
Crab
heard that they don't do it
walks?
anymore. Whatever it was, like, your hands would get tore up, and so, like, our hands would be all tore up on our palms from, I think it might have been the crab, I don't remember what it
Like,
was,
when you, like,
but
go back and, like,
yeah, and you have to go like
in that,
that.
like, reverse quadruped kinda, like, positioning?
Yeah. Yeah, our hands would be so torn up afterwards, and it's like, we played basketball, so, like, we would do the suicides or all that
Mhm.
on the basketball court because yeah, we're running that. But there was some stuff where I was like the wall touches, I'm like, I would stub my toe more than anything because I kick and I'd be like, you know? So, yeah,
No, we were too busy doing 50 fucking hill sprints, actually.
yeah, I mean, I will be the first to admit I'm so out of shape. I would get gas running probably 10 yards down the football field. I just think it was really
Further
funny
than you
because
think, man.
yeah, because he was gassed, and I was like, "Oh, man, the regret that meant get that man the oxygen tank on the sidelines." So,
Yeah.
who are your studs and duds for this week?
Well, my dud is Jordan Love. I think that is
Boo.
an obvious dud, because his stats show it. Like, he performed, like, terribly after doing such a great job last week. I feel like he still does not have the confidence, like, when he's under
Mhm.
pressure, like, he panics. And then his deep passes, they're just fucking floaters laying up there, like, literally waiting for the opposing defense to catch them. Like,
Mhm.
throw the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Like, it's so frustrating that we went from such a like
Dominant.
accurate deep passer
Uh-huh.
to this guy who's not even confident in throwing it over 15 yards.
Mhm.
And like
With
that could be it. Like, is he just not confident in his throws? Is he trying too hard? Like, because like the ones that get picked and stuff, sometimes I'm like, are you not seeing the whole field?
Mhm.
Like, do we need
Because
to do a
AJ Dillon
vision?
is right
Do we need
there
to do a vision
or
check or something? Because
yeah.
or the defenders are like literally closing in.
Mhm.
And I'm like, you should know that.
With you saying the confidence thing and not comfortable, that makes me think of when it was 4th down and he ran it, and then he hesitated and stopped.
Yes. I
And
literally said, I said, fucking go for it. Like, commit to
yeah,
that.
exactly, commit.
Just
If
go
you're gonna
for
do
it.
it, you have to go for it.
Throw your
Your
yeah,
body's
like
on the
at
line.
that point, throw your goddamn body at the line and get
It was
that
that
first down.
it was the hesitation, and the crazy thing about it too is it happened so fast, and my dad was like, "Oh, I wish Jordan would have kept it."
Mhm.
And we're like, "Oh, wait, he did." Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, he literally did, like, hesitate and stop. I
Mhm.
noticed that too. I know exactly what play you're talking about.
Yeah. It's like he had to think about it in that fourth of a second or whatever it was that he thought about it. By that time, the defender was closing in on him. But yeah, I think you're right. I think he's just needs to get maybe more comfortable because there's some throws with the accuracy to where I'm like, that was nowhere near where our
No.
guy was. So
And,
either
like and
they're not
you're
on the same.
going to get pressured.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need to learn to be confident with pressure on you to make it.
Hmm. In this league, yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yes, your offensive line, I would love for them to help you out a little bit more,
Just a
but
little.
you have to do a job too,
Hmm.
and that comes with it. But I don't know, stud for
Brutal.
my week was hard to kind of find, but and so this is the stud I picked. I picked Kraft.
Okay. Yep.
Um, Mainly because he didn't do dog shit bad. And I feel like he's actually starting to grow into our offense well.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
honestly, like, I'm gonna say this, I think I like him more than Musgrave in a starting spot.
Ooh, controversial. Controversial.
I feel like I do. One, he catches the ball and can stay on his feet. He don't
True.
got that baby deer legs. But I don't know. I just feel like he has been more relevant in the games
Mhm.
that he's played than in the games that Musgrave has played without him. Like, he has not like,
Yeah.
Musgrave was not very, like, relevant to me, like, throughout the games. I don't know. But I like Kraft. I like what I'm seeing
Yeah.
from him.
I would like to see, hopefully when Musgraves gets healthy again and that lacerated kidney is better. I would like to see like what they can do on the field together because I think they're both really good at blocking, which is important for that tight end position. I mean, Mercedes Lewis for how many years was just
Mhm.
a completely dominant. Like you would never hear about him on the like stats because of the fact that everyone just counts touchdowns and it's like okay, he's been in the league for 18 years. I don't know how many touchdowns he has, but I would assume it's more than likely under 30 if I'm being generous. I would say probably under 20 because he just never caught like touchdowns. Like that was not his priority. His priority was blocking to get the rest of the guys open. And I feel that
And there's
in the
different
league,
types of tight ends.
yeah, I
You
feel
have
like
a
but both of them
blocking
are
tight
really
end,
good
and
at
you
it.
have one that's more, like, in the offensive scheme of things
Yeah.
as, like, a pass catcher and all that. I don't know. It would be interesting. I don't know how I'd feel about them on the field together. I feel like
Okay.
it's gonna literally have to be a one or the other situation. And, like, I think that'll be good for Musgrave as he's getting back into actually playing
Hmm.
because he'll get those breaks a little bit more. Um, but I don't know. It's hard because 'cause they're also, like, the same age. They're from the same
Yeah, they're
draft.
babies.
They're
They're just
babies, and so it's
babies.
like, unfortunately, like, we're gonna have to make a decision with one, and one's gonna probably
Hmm.
have to go because 'cause they're not gonna sit there.
There eventually I think once Musgraves gets healthy, I think they'll eventually start to one will probably take off.
Bring him
So I
back
would
in, you
just thank
think?
you. It is 39 career touchdowns. Okay, so I was being a little bit too negative, but 39 still, again, for 18 years. I mean,
He was one of those players I feel like that you again, he wasn't scoring like hell of a ton of touchdowns by any means, but it made a difference in the whole like aspect of things.
hmm
Like you could tell if someone else was in maybe, but
hmm
uh, well, with that game though, like does that game make you worry for the rest of this season?
If we play like that, yes.
Yeah,
If
no
they
shit if we play
play,
like that, Emily. Yeah, no
if
shit
we
if my fucking kindergarten team can maybe beat us.
if we could go back to how it was on against Kansas City, the Lions, the Chargers, if that team shows up, then I feel a little more confident. This team doesn't like I don't have high hopes. Like,
Okay, but here's the question then for you. Do you feel that what you saw Sunday against the Chiefs, or do you feel
mhm,
what you saw Monday against the Giants was a more accurate picture of what our team has been this year?
I would say probably what was still Monday night.
I would say so. I would agree. I
Yeah,
would think that the Monday night is a more accurate representation
of the
of our
2023
whole
Packers.
entire like of this whole entire season. I
Yeah,
think we just did well against the
yeah,
Chiefs. I still think though, with how we played against the Chiefs, that if we play a better team because the Chiefs are just not what they were or like, the
hmm
past few years, if we play a better team, I still don't think we beat them with even
Oh
how
yeah.
we played that game.
I'm looking at the seating of how everything is. Things change. Things are changing every single week. Things are moving. Things are changing. But I am quite terrified, if I'm being honest, that if we come down here to AT&T and play against the Cowboys, because I've said from the beginning of the season, I'm
They
so
are
thankful
looking
that we're
like
not
one of
playing
the
against the
best teams
Cowboys.
right now.
Whatever it is about them being on their home turf, like they've not lost a game. I think they won 17 straight as of Sunday night. Like they are killing it. And I'm like, I don't want to come down here. Like I'd rather go get like blown out in like San Francisco or something like that. Or
Yeah, something we're
uh,
used to.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. Like if we were to like just regular season, like stand up to like against the Eagles, the 49ers or the Cowboys, I don't know. Like I think maybe we would play better because that's kind of the, you know, how the waves go, but I don't think that we would win. Ew, no.
That's yeah. No, it's hard because I feel like of course, yeah, like you said, if we play like that, we're gonna do terrible. If we play like Sunday, we might do okay.
Mhm.
But it's hard because like we saw that team that played so terrible, but the rest of our season is still relatively easy. So it's
Yeah,
like it's so hard to be like, "Oh, we should be able to bounce back from that because we are playing the Bucks, the
bad
Panthers, the
teams.
Vikings, and the Bears." Yes, we should be able to bounce back from that. But will we?
Mhm. Yeah.
And it's really hard to say because like I want to be like I'm not terribly worried about the remainder of the season because of those easy teams, but we look like garbage.
Oh yeah, no. If we keep playing like that, then I don't want to be in the playoffs. Like we have no business being in the playoffs, quite frankly.
Honestly, like I think it's nice if we make it to the playoffs. I don't 100% want to be in the playoffs besides just being like, we made it to the playoffs this year. Good for
Yeah.
us because we're losing game one.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
I
We're
don't
we're
think
not
we've
going
seen a
anywhere.
chance game one. And in true Packers fashion, they will get all of our hopes up just to
Mhm.
let us down. What if we fucking lose to the Bears in a winner done game? Like, that will be my 13th reason. I can't.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, that would be worst case scenario. I'd rather lose to the Vikings than lose to the Bears because, like, that would just be gross.
I
I
just
don't
like
know.
it's like even though we have a shitty team, at least we can like bounce back on that. Like, like,
Yeah,
oh, but we still beat the Bears.
yeah, exactly. Like, we still beat the Bears. And I think, too, like, I think it'd be kind of funny. Like, I know we've talked about it before, like, Rodgers is such, like, a pride person, which is why he wants to come back this year, but, like, as far as I'm aware,
Mhm.
the Jets still have no chance of making the playoffs, so I think it would just kinda be, like, ironic if we made it into the playoffs this year and Rodgers and his Jets didn't, even though he didn't play for the whole season, but
Like I
still.
said, like, if we made it to the playoffs, it would literally just be cool to be like, "We made to the playoffs in Jordan Love's
Mhm.
first season." Like, that would just be cool for us to be able to say. Honestly,
Yeah.
it wouldn't mean anything because this year of football has also been garbage in
Mhm.
general. There have been 55 different starting quarterbacks this season.
Wow. Is that a record or
No, the record is 64, I think.
well, we still got, what, 4 weeks, so
Well, like, yeah, like, we got the weeks where, like, they're gonna throw in backup quarterbacks because, like,
Mhm.
playoff stuff is done. Like, we have, like, those, like, garbage basically weeks, the last,
Yeah.
like, 2 for the teams that are done, but that's insane. Like, we've just seen some really bad football this year. I'm like, "This is, like, the most disappointing season,"
Mhm. By
and I was
far.
like, I was so excited.
I know. It's definitely funny looking at, like, the wild card race because 'cause we're sitting at 6 and 7, and then all the teams below us are all sitting at 6 and 7 also. It's like, "This is bad." Like,
But
this
then,
is
like,
really bad.
also, like but also, like, the Buccaneers are sitting at 6 and 7 and in, like, the 4 seed.
Yeah. Like, it's just it's comical, but
It
I'm
really
sorry.
is. No, it literally is, because I remember, like, looking and so I have a patient, and he's a high school kid who's, a Dallas fan, actually, for some reason, and this was before last week, I believe, because that's when I think Atlanta was in the 4
Mhm.
spot instead of the Bucks, but I was like, "Does it, like, make you so mad that the Cowboys were sitting in the 5 seed and the Falcons are in the 4 seed at 6 and 6? Like, does that make you mad?" And he's like,
Well,
"Yes, like, obviously."
yeah. No, it's definitely crazy, like, how the seating works and everything like that, especially because you're right, you can have 2 powerhouse teams in 5 and 6, but because someone else in their division was better, they don't make it versus, like and then how it works is, like, those players or those teams play against the ones that are at the lower end of the,
Mhm.
like, the 3rd and the 4th seed, and so it's just kind of it's weird how it all works out, and I think that it was good when they added the extra wild card team, however, I do miss whenever the top 2 seeds had, bye weeks.
Buys, yeah.
So, it's kind of like a it's nice, especially if we do get in at 7th because then obviously, yeah, I'm glad that we have 7 teams in the playoffs, but at the same time, it's just the evolution of football, things are
Yeah.
changing, things are moving in a certain way,
I mean,
so
like, I'm excited for, like, college football, how it's gonna be changing to more of, like, a playoff bracket style, because
yeah.
I feel like it should be. I hate
Oh,
how they do it
absolutely.
right now
It's yeah, it's I think college football is, like, 100% about money because it can be versus the NFL
because it's
can't
college and that's
necessarily
all they
yeah.
want.
Yeah, exactly,
Because college is a scam. Take it from someone
Oh,
who went.
it's a scam. Okay, so with the Bucks on Sunday, how are you feeling? What's the vibe?
What's the vibe?
Mhm.
Do you wanna know the vibe? Like, this one, when we were looking at our schedule, like, way back when we weren't doing great, or, even, like, last week, I was like, out of the remaining games, the Bucks is the one that I feel like we would struggle the most with.
Mhm.
Um, so, like, I don't feel great about it. I honestly seeing us get back-to-back losses, like, I see us losing this one.
Mhm.
Um, our I don't think their team's anything, like, special, despite them, again, like, being their divisional leader, like, I don't see them as being
Mhm.
anything special. I think that, like, we could have a shot if we turn around. If honestly, I feel like obviously it comes down to if Jordan Love does well, but I'm gonna say it comes
Mhm.
down to how Jordan Love does, because of the fact that, like, their defense and our defense is, like, ranked relatively, like, the same. Like, we're very similar
Mhm.
in overall rankings of D, but their passing defense is so much worse. And
Okay.
their run defense is, like, top 10, and their red zone defense is, like, top 10 right now. So we need actual good solid deep balls. We need confidence in those deep balls that he is throwing
Mhm.
so that our guys can just score and we don't have to worry about the red zone. We can just, like, get a long ball.
Yeah.
But it's gonna come down to Jordan Love and how he's playing and passing.
How do you feel about AJ Dillon breaking his thumb? Like, what are your thoughts and vibes about that?
Like, Can we have like anything nice? This is why we can't have nice things.
Oh, absolutely. But I guess like the only saving grace is that if you're right, like if we can get, a couple yards down the field, if we have to settle for field goals, hopefully they're within the 40-yard range. And
Hopefully they're
then,
less than 50 yards or
yeah,
40
if they're less than
yards.
40 yards, we have a chance. So if they stop us in the
Yes.
red zone, we
Let's
have a
just
chance.
get like 35-yard field goals every time.
Hey, if that's what works, that's what works. But I saw a picture where someone had edited the Nick Collins glove on AJ Dillon, and I was like, oh, I'm here for it. Like that whole like wrapped like thing. I'm
Right.
here for it. Oh my gosh, yes. And the speculation is potentially Aaron Jones might be back for Sunday, which I'm not mad at. I'd be really happy about that.
It'd
But
be really nice to be able to
especially if
have some,
AJ
because
Dillon
like
is
what we
out,
have like Taylor, I guess, or whatever.
Kenyon Drake.
And then apparently we're using Reed for some. The play was great against Kansas City, and it's going to
Oh
work.
yeah.
Sometimes it is not going to work 8 out of 8 times. Like
Or to do it 4 times in one game, like
it is not going to work that much. Do it a time or two, and when it stops working, that means
mm-hmm.
stop calling it because it's not going
Scratch
to
it.
come back.
That's a
Scratch
scratch. It's not
it,
a
take it
highlight. Like
back.
yeah. He was highlighting, was like, okay, like it's supposed to mean want to watch me do it
He was
again.
like, "Oh,
No, we do
damn,
not.
people thought this play
Love
that I
it.
called was so good against the Chiefs. I'm gonna do it again."
They love it. It's did you watch The Boys? Have you
No,
ever seen The Boys? Oh, okay. What's
no.
the meme where it's the guy that's like supposed to be like the Superman character where like everyone's like applauding him and he's just sit there like
Oh,
that's
okay, yes, I
literally
know what you're
yeah.
talking about, though. Yeah, he's
That's
like,
literally
"Yeah."
coach. Like they love it. They love this. They thrive off of this. It's like,
I
no.
do feel like the play calling is because like, part of me is like, I feel like the play calling, besides that fact, wasn't bad. It was just bad execution because you could see like the gears turning and stuff, and you could see how
Mhm.
pissed LaFleur was getting
Oh,
with the
absolutely.
poor execution.
Oh,
So like
absolutely.
maybe he is a good play caller. I don't know. I need to see more, but
They they definitely did the Rogers thing on him to where after something would mess up, they would pan into his face and you could just see the
oh
frustration.
my god, I was like, if
Oh,
I could be a fly on the wall in that halftime locker room, oh
oh,
my god.
absolutely. I'd crawl my way in and just be like,
I
okay,
just wanna let me just
yeah.
hear like little like cup like against the door or
Yeah.
something.
With the strings underneath it. We're like,
No, because he was fucking furious. And I was like, thank you. I'm glad
yeah.
someone else is. And it's
Yeah. Cause
not
I'm like,
just me. I'm glad that you're not just accepting what you're seeing. I'd be fucking
mm-hmm.
pissed too after seeing my team play the way they did. Like, you are
I'd be
capable of so much more than this, and you're embarrassing yourself in front of the whole nation. We're lucky there was a second Monday night game, so only half the country had to see us fucking fall apart.
until they did the split screens, but that was the most
That was so
annoying thing.
irritating.
If I wanted to watch the Dolphins Titan games, I would
I
watch it.
picked my game, just like
Yeah,
I do on
exactly.
Sundays. I pick the game I'm watching.
Yeah, I do not want to do split screen. I'm okay with like, hey, like this is what you're missing in the other game, but to have them split screens
Yes,
where
if it's a
my bad
quick, like,
eyesight,
scoring play,
yes,
sure, show it when we're, like, lining up and we're not set yet. Don't
but
fucking
the
show it
nine
when
minutes
the
of
play
just
is going.
yes, I'm like I can't see what's
I
happening.
can't
Like
see.
I think that, someone should have been on Twitter reading everyone's response to it because everyone's response to it was negative.
It was very negative.
So, again, it's the want to watch me do it
And I
again.
feel like
Want to
it
watch
was,
me do it
like
again.
always when we had the ball too.
Yes.
I
Oh,
was like,
yes.
how come we're not split screening it when the Giants have the ball? How come we're putting that in big, bold picture, them letting
Hmm.
their fucking DeVito run up the middle of our field? Put that in split screen so I don't have to fucking look at it anymore.
Exactly. I don't want to watch that. I'm tired of watching that. And if it's on a small
No.
screen, the replays of it will be on small screen. But in the every time they panned over to the family and just like I thought, going into the game, I was like, oh, like it's kind of cute that they're all like, doing this. And I was like, if I see that one more time,
If I
I
see
will
that
go
one more
ballistic.
fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah. I
First
just
of all, Once you start doing this, I've started doing this, like, probably towards the beginning of the year, you can't fucking stop. I have tried to stop myself and I can't. I have patients. They're like, "Are you Italian?" I'm like, "No. No, not at all,
Not
but
at
I
all.
can't stop doing this." It's like when I'm making a point, I'm like, "Yes." So
It's
don't
like a
try
yes,
it.
queen.
Don't try it because I'm like I do it down here. You can't see, but like when I'm talking, I'm doing it a lot.
We need the hands camera for Tori. Just
Like just like pan off. Like since Haley is not here, we'll have that be the third camera.
yeah,
It's like what
their
my hands are
camera.
doing because I bursted my fidget ball finally, and then I bursted the replacement fidget ball. So now my hands have nothing but this.
Nothing but each other.
So don't start doing it unless you wanna have a real fucking problem for the rest of your life, because that's what I'm dealing with. I don't even know why I started it. All of a sudden, I'm like, "Why am I doing this? Like, who am I?"
You're just like in like the Matrix. You're like, ah,
My
okay.
dad, like, when I went home for Thanksgiving, my dad made fun of me. He's like, "Ah, Tori's Italian now." And I was like, "I can't stop myself." Like,
See, the Italian thing that I do is that anytime, like, I'll think about something sometimes and I won't say it, and then it'll happen. And that's a lot of times like happens in football. And so immediately our thing is hand to God, hand to God, like in that like horrible like New York, New Jersey accent, hand to God.
oh god.
That is what I do whenever it comes down to being like no, like that's me trying to prove my point. Like hand to God, like I was going to say that, like
Dude, that does happen a lot though. I'm like, "Am I fucking psychic?" No.
and they
No,
were like, yeah,
it's yeah, it's a real problem. Also, like, every time they were like, "DeVito," I'm like, "Where's Danny? Show him."
Danny
Like,
DeVito,
that's all I
yes.
can think of is like, "That is Danny DeVito, motherfucker." Like,
Yes, and that was why I kept calling him because that's why I had to change it over to
I
calling him
I
to
kept,
Tony
like, wanting
Cutlets.
to say Danny. Like, when they would say like, when I was talking about, I was like, "Danny." I mean,
Danny.
no, no.
I think my mom asked probably 7 times if he was related to Danny DeVito. Like, no, like, he's still not related, nothing
Nope,
has
still not are you
changed.
seeing the height
He's
on this guy?
still
He ain't
not
related to Danny
related.
DeVito.
Oh,
Like,
no.
oh my god, that's so bad. Hilarious though. Danny DeVito, loved him in Sunny in Philadelphia, like, always
Oh
will.
my gosh, yes, Dr. Toboggan, he is great. Are you a Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan?
Yes. Oh,
That's
don't
literally
talk about
so
Holt.
yeah,
Rest in
yeah.
peace. I only call him
That
Holt. I don't know the actors by their actual name.
uh,
Only Danny DeVito.
Andre, yeah, Andre Blake Bumgarner or something like that. I
I
don't know,
like
but yeah,
he was
Captain
in
Souls.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like, one of my favorite characters, honestly, because,
Oh
like,
yeah,
it was the precision, the
yeah,
monotone, like, and, like, the way he would make fun of, Wench. Oh my god, when Wench
yeah,
died in the series. I quote him all the time, like, my friend, like, brought in bagels. I was like, "Bagels! Bagels for everyone!" Like, no one's getting it, and I'm like, "It's okay," but it's, like, really funny to me.
yeah, exactly. That's it. That show is so good. We still
That's
say
one of my
trilogy sex
comfort
tape.
shows. I think that's, like, one of the funnier like, more recent sitcoms, and I was so sad when
Mm,
they discontinued it.
yeah, that is really sad too. Yeah, because that was a good show. My comforts are like The Office, Brooklyn Nine Nine, Parks and Rec, Always Sunny, and right now I'm on a Gossip Girl binge.
Only saw Gossip Girl once in college, and that was enough. It was okay. It's not for me. No, my comforts are probably, like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've actually been watching a lot of King of the Hill. Um,
Oh, really? Okay.
that's actually everything I know about Texas is from King of the Hill, just so you know. Like, literally, like, someone told me, they're like, "Yeah, it's near Arlen." I was like, "I know where Arlen is because of King of the" and stuff, and,
The
like, everything I think it's so funny because it's such a mockery,
Oh,
but it's, like, a
absolutely.
subtle mockery of, like, Texan culture. But it's, like,
I think
it's hilarious. I'm like, they're making fun of Texans without, like, straight up making fun of Texans.
offending, yeah. The funniest thing about Texas is, like, when talking to other people, it's like, "Oh, like, did you do, Missouri history?" "Huh?" It's like, okay, talking to my friends that live in Michigan, did you do Michigan history? Huh? Like, we are so proud of our state that one
Oh,
of the high school courses
we did
is
Minnesota
Texas history.
history. Yeah,
Oh,
one
you
of
did do
our
Minnesota?
we had to do Minnesota history because,
Yeah.
well, Minnesota history also fell into a lot of just Native American history because we're just
Okay.
so strongly Native American. And so, like, I remember, like, sitting in chemistry class in college, and we were talking about, like, Mercury and blah, 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 and I was like, "Did you guys know that the reason that the Mad Hatter is Matt in Alice in Wonderland is because hatters had to use a lot of mercury to make their beaver hats, and they like went crazy, and so that is why he is the Mad Hatter." And like no one knew that, and I was like, "You guys didn't talk about that during the fur trade unit?" And they're like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, we fucking hammered the fur trade into our heads in like Minnesota." And so I can't stop. That's a problem. But yeah, we did Minnesota history and stuff.
Okay. Because I have some friends that like live in other states and they didn't do it. They're like, wow, Texas is
I
really
don't
like,
think Missouri really did, like, Missouri history, like, from what I've
okay.
known, like, I think they just really hammer American history. I mean,
Mm,
if anything, I think they, like, talk about, like, the Lewis and Clark and stuff like
okay.
that, 'cause
Stuff
they're
like
kind
that.
of, like, walking through this area or something, I don't know, but yeah, no, Texans are, like, so prideful, it's insane, and,
Hmm.
like, I hate it, but I'm, like, jealous of it a little bit. I'm like, "That's really nice of you guys to all feel
Oh,
that way."
yeah, it's a collective thing. Like,
Well, it's like the way,
anytime
like, Californians are with, like,
yeah,
California. They're like, "This is the best place ever," and I'm like, "It's not even close." But
yeah, we're so proud. There's a store called HEB, which I don't know if it's anywhere else except for Texas. I'm not sure, but it basically stands for here everything's better. You can literally walk in that store and find anything that you want Texas shaped. So they have Texas shaped tortillas, they have Texas shaped tortilla chips, um, Texas shaped like cinnamon buns. I mean, just anything that you can
oh, my friend
imagine.
sends me, like, the Texas-shaped, like, waffles, the Texas-shaped,
Yes,
like, the
best waffles.
protein, like, things at the gas station, Texas-shaped,
Texture
like,
shape, yeah, yeah, and we're also
it's
really proud of
hilarious.
our Buc-ee's, which I know that they're moving Buc-ee's into, like, different
We
places, but
we have a
originally
Buc-ee's now, and, it's, like, not near us at all. It's in Springfield, so it's, like, 3 hours away or something. I actually have no idea how far that is from here. It's a couple hours away, though. So, like, I've never been
worth
to a
it.
Buc-ee's, but I think I heard that Kansas City is gonna try and make
Oh,
their
nice.
version of a Buc-ee's to
Oh, okay.
expand, so get ready for some competition, Emily.
I love Buc-ee's, like, it is one of those places, like, the bathrooms are so nice, you can literally get anything there, there's snacks galore. I love the Buc-ee shirts because they always put out holiday shirts, and so it's like, "Oh, this is a Buc-ee's, like, Halloween shirt," or, "This is a Buc-ee's Christmas shirt," and it's just really odd again that we're really proud of our gas station and but it
But,
is
I
the
mean, like,
nicest
that's,
gas
like,
station.
Quick Trip. Like,
Oh,
Wisconsin,
yeah.
Minnesota, like, even, like, here, they're Quick Trip with a Q. Like,
Yeah,
they
that's
are
what we have too.
so proud of Quick Trips.
Yeah. That's the
So,
one place in Wisconsin I've
I
not
get
been
it.
to is a quick trip, but I know, I was really trying to go in September whenever we went, but we just didn't need gas, so, I mean
You go regardless of
I know
gas
because
or
'cause I've
not.
heard that they have all this stuff,
Their
so
food
that's
is
definitely gonna be on my
actually good.
it's on my list for the next time that I go to Green Bay, it's on my list,
Well,
so
you disappoint me, and on that note, I think we should wrap up the show. Um,
sounds good.
so so hopefully we do better than we did earlier this week. That's my only hope and anything else, but go follow us, I guess, at green underscore underscore gorgeous. And of course, our socials as well. Whatever. All right. Everyone have a good weekend.
Bye.